Hey guys, admin here with a movie time video for you. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Netflix documentary Black Barbie. Now, this documentary was made by Shonda Rhimes, part of Shondaland. Shonda created Hello, Grey's Anatomy. That's gone on for 200 seasons now. How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal. Hello, the first Black woman in television to create 3 shows that gone over 100 episodes. Iconic. As well with Netflix, she has created Hello, Bridgerton, Inventing Anna. This movie came out in June 19, 2024. I'm trying to give a short type of commentary about the movie, what you will see in the movie, and as well give my thoughts and opinions towards the end. But as well as talking about the movie, there'll be inputs that I would insert myself and discuss a little bit. Because this is a documentary. The other times I talked about movies of part of the movie time section of the channel, that it's obviously been Barbie movies, kids children's movies, so it's I'm serious, but this is a documentary part of history, so it's kind of hard to input your own opinions on it, your own different take on it. So just be mindful of that. This is just my own thoughts and opinions on it. I'm gonna try to express it enough to understand. Bear with me. So of course this movie is talking about the Black Barbie herself, which I do have a reproduction of, part of the 50th anniversary of Barbies, where they created those sets of Barbie dolls, the iconic Barbies that they created over at Mattel. This is part of the collection. This is Black Barbie. I remember getting her in 2020 during the, that part. I found her on, I think it was eBay for $40 or something, and I'm sold, cause 1, gorge, and 2, I love that collection so much. I would love to get every single doll ever made, but unfortunately I don't have the millions of dollars to purchase them from resellers. But I found this one as well with the 1959 Barbie, and I believe I bought the Malibu Barbie from that collection over at eBay around the same price point. So I'm great, and I'm happy to have her in my collection because I've had her for so long. I have put her on my doll shelf for display every time I would move. She's always been with me around. So I'm to see a documentary and to have at least a reproduction of the doll. Oh my god, not me getting emotional, but it's so much of I love her based off her look. I love that what she represents in history of a time where even Black dolls weren't not taken care of in terms of the market of people buying them, people selling them. It was just a difficult time, from that time period in life and history. So to own a part of that, even though it is a reproduction, I'm just glad to have one with me in my doll collection. So for this, I do have notes, so apologies around just reading down on it, but I just want to see what to say, because I did write a lot. So the movie is from the perspective of, apologies for the names that I'm about to miss and not pronounce correctly throughout this video. LaGuerria Davis, who is the creator of the documentary. We see from, I believe, from 2011 that she moved in with her aunt Beulah, and noticed that while she was living with her, that the room that she stayed in had a bunch of Barbie dolls, and that's where she got into her aunt's history with dolls, with Mattel, with working there, and all of that background of her aunt. The movie starts off with obviously people talking about Barbie's beauty standards, her image standards, body issues, body just things about Barbie's image. We know this rundown as a doll collector. This is always talked about every single time people talk about Barbie and her history. And as well, it talks about from where obviously Mattel has made Barbie as white and never a person of color. Chapter 1, Before Black Barbie, a lack of Black dolls. Obviously from the time period where Barbie started, in 1959 and even before then, color dolls weren't really a thing. It was just purely just white baby dolls. Even for people of like Latinos, Asians, African American, there weren't other dolls to represent them. It was just basically white. For black dolls, they were known to be made out of cloth, like those like quote-unquote rag dolls. Example here, they are made to seem not as pretty dolls as was described as by one of the commentators of the documentary. They were made sort of like with this pillow like fabric, of course, with like other like fabric pieces to like create the doll itself. In 1959, Barbie was released, and thus being the first like fashion doll. Beulah, she worked at Mattel as part of the assembly line to create the dolls in the factory. She actually knew Ruth Handler herself because Ruth would go down to the factory and all parts, of course, of Mattel itself to talk to co-workers, to talk to employees, to talk to everyone, and also as well to like get their input on certain toys, because Ruth believed that since they are creating the dolls and they are working with Mattel, they should have an input of what the next toy should be or what their thoughts and opinions would be on the actual current toys that they have at Mattel. So it's just as important as from customer feedback, which I love that detail that she said about Ruth. It's very sweet. Beulah actually told Ruth that she would love to see a black Barbie, and thus that getting the ball rolling of Ruth like seeing what she can do. She thought it was a good idea. She wants to create the doll, and thus Mattel created that in 1967. They created Christy doll. It was a black doll that was quote the best friend to Barbie and as well a babysitter. Now, in terms of the babysitter label, I'm assuming because Barbie was known as being like a fashion model, I don't remember her being known for like careers. I'm sure she has, as well as like her career outfits, but Christy only was given like the career of a babysitter. Around that same time, they created Cara dolls, which are friend of Barbie. As well, Christy they created Cara. At this time, they were not named Barbie because Barbie was Barbie. Barbie was Barbie. So other dolls were given their own names and their own background. Another toy company, Shindana Toys, actually created black baby dolls as well with like Caucasian babies, Asian babies, Latina babies, and to see these babies here, honestly, they are adorable. I don't have any baby dolls myself. I don't have any like rag dolls myself either. I remember seeing them back in Target from the rag dolls. I believe they were from Harper Toys? Harper Iman, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Gorgeous dolls, I remember seeing them on the toy shelf. I'm not sure what happened to this brand. The boy doll, it's himself, like the outfit, the white hoodie, the corduroy jacket, the pants, the shoes. I need this in my size. In terms of baby dolls, I don't have any baby dolls just because I don't really care for baby dolls, honestly. Just because I feel like, one, they're mainly like seen as like to teach little girls to like be a mother already. Like, you're 5, like let's do something else with that. Like, you have a whole adult life to learn how to be a mom. These baby dolls are honestly gorgeous. The pigtails, the little fashion, the socks, I cannot deal. Like, I would love to own one of these baby dolls. Little Friends collection. Like, I don't own any, and I don't want to have any baby dolls, but these dolls I would get all 5 that are shown here in this image. Equally beautiful, all of them. Shindana Toys actually created their black doll, which are called Wanda dolls. I honestly never heard of Wanda dolls. I never knew that was a thing. I don't see it being talked about in the doll community. I'm Googling about her and I'm like, stunning. I love her eyes. I love her face. I mean, never declines. I love her fashions. Like, she's just overall gorgeous to me. Like, I would love to own a Wanda doll. And now that I went to eBay, wow. I don't know how long this line lived. They didn't talk about when she was discontinued, but my God, like, I understand why people are selling her so high, especially her in the packaging, because like, she's iconic. She's part of doll history. Like, you just cannot clock her. The fashions as well are just beyond gorgeous and well detailed, actual fashions that people would actually wear. Fun fact, the Shadana toys for the baby dolls, they created baby Nancy dolls as well back in 2020, which is not that far away ago. But in 2020, baby Nancy was actually inducted in the Toy Hall of Fame. As seeing the success of Wanda fashion dolls back in 1972 when she was launched, Mattel was starting to create their own fashion dolls for Black Barbie. And to get this right, they actually worked with Shadana Toys to create a black doll. In the 70s and 80s, it was huge in terms of sales for black dolls at the time. Sadly, in 1983, Shadana Toys did close down. I haven't heard anything in terms of like a comeback or anything. I would love to see Shadana obviously come back and like make Wanda dolls again, to see her modernize, to see these baby dolls as well. In 1976, Kitty Black Perkins was hired as the first black designer over at Mattel. Instead of now working in the assembly line, she now works at the Mattel offices. So it wasn't really listed in terms of what she was actually doing in the office. Please let me know in the comments. I probably missed that part, but I don't remember what title she would have in the offices. And this quote stuck out to me during this part of the documentary: "Damage done when you force children of color to play with white dolls." And I 100% agree with that point. Damage done when you force children of color to play with white dolls. You want to see yourself as a toy. You want to see yourself as, you know, being a doll that way when you're playing, as well as like playing, like especially with like those career sets, you want to see it be a reality. You want to see it be possible, even if it is a form of a toy, because again, I mean, these are just plastic, like they're not real, but they are real in terms of like imagination, of creativity, and to see it as a doll, you can see it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. So in 1980, Black Barbie was released. She's black, she's beautiful, she's dynamite. Which of course here is the example of when she came out. Again, example that is just a reproduction doll. She had another outfit as well, I believe. Did she? I only can find this one image of her, just a single, but I remember from when I got this reproduction of the 1980 doll that she came with a second outfit. But here, like the skirt tear away and we get this gorgeous jumpsuit. Is it a jumpsuit or romper? I'm not sure what the proper name is. But hello, gorge. There wasn't really much of a market for Black Barbie. Like there wasn't like any commercials, any like advertisements that I could find. Mattel said that they did put on marketing, but it wasn't like heavenly as high as like, I guess like Barbie. So like I was shocked to see that there was no commercial for Black Barbie. Like we all know the 1959 commercial of Barbie, you're beautiful, like, you know, that grand staircase and everything, like the fashions. It's like, I was like very shocked, and like I don't know what word to use, like offended. I'm like, what do you mean there's like no commercial for Black Barbie? Like, why would you not do that? Now we got to chapter 2, after Black Barbie pushing boundaries. In 1992, Shawnee dolls were created and launched by Mattel. The dolls included Asha, Michelle, and Shawnee herself. Mattel did they were all out for Shawnee's launch. They did a big commercial. They did a commercial for her, and in New York City presentation. It was heavily marketed, the Shawnee doll. And as well, they created in 1990 the first black holiday Barbie doll. In 1996, Stacy was hired by Mattel as well a fashion designer for Black Barbie. In 1999, Beulah left Mattel. It wasn't known as to why she left. I'm gonna assume maybe retirement or to do something else, or I'm not sure exactly why she left. Kitty retires in 2003, thus having Stacy take over the role as the designer for Black Barbie. Stacy's role, one of her roles was in 2008, she created the AKA sorority doll, Now this doll is huge. Like I remember not knowing she was like the AKA sorority doll. I just saw her as like the color palette of her dress, the face, the hair, everything about this doll was gorgeous. Like I don't know why this struck like a core memory for me as a child, like seeing her. I don't remember she was in store shelves or anything like that, but just the image of her, I'm like, yeah, I remember this doll. I know what she looks like. She's huge, and even just seeing her on resellers is like very high, but very reasonable as well, because it's like the first doll they created, because AKA is a very well-known black women sorority. So this was a huge deal, and still is, because I don't believe they ever created another doll after this, right? Mattel, let's get on that. In 2009, Stacy created the Sew and Style dolls, the SIS dolls. She created it for her daughter and as well for the community. She also said that they also at this time started making 2 sets of like Barbies, whereas like if you have a Barbie that has a gymnastics set, you as well can get that same set but as a black Barbie. But when Mattel started doing that for all different sets, she noticed that the retailers weren't really buying black Barbies. They were just mainly buying white Barbie dolls. She created Sew and Style with much details, much love, lots of care to make sure retailers bought those dolls, and they did. I remember these dolls so much. The packaging, I mean, I love the color purple, so it's like, hello, it's very standout, gorgeous. Even the symbol of Barbie changed. Like it was, I feel like it was so ahead of its time, but so right for the time as well. Like to be in a 2000s era, kind of like, is it part of Y2K? Because it was back in like 2009, right? I don't know, but like the fashions, everything about the dolls, the hair, the hairstyles, gorgeousness, even like the little sisters I created. Now I'm not a fan of like those dolls at all. Like I don't really own or collect them, but they were also detailed with articulation, fashions. Like it's not like today's times where it's like printed on tops. Like I'm not dealing with that. Like that's just wrong. But these dolls here are just gorgeous. I do have not two dolls. I think I have 1 doll for sure, because she came with her fashions are just gorgeous with the top. It was like a denim and gold top with like an animal print pants, but she came with a dress that was red. I think it was like orange and yellow, but it had fringe on it, like on the top. And I'm like, I need this dress. This dress stood out. I forgot how much I paid for her, but it was a reseller, obviously. And it was pretty high. I think it was like $40-50. And I'm like, I have to get her. A lot of Sew and Style dolls, of course, they are very, very high on the market in terms of reselling, but rightfully so, because look at the details and look at what we have in 2024 for Barbie. Let's move on. In 2010, 30th anniversary Black Barbie was created. However, this doll was only created for an auction. And I don't remember they ever said how much the doll sold for. And as well, for this time in 2010, that's where they released reproductions of anniversary like Barbie dolls. Thus, we have again Black Barbie, which is this one that I got from that time. In 2020, they had the 30th anniversary for Black Barbie. However, this was very much, I don't know what word to use, but it's a standout. And I don't think it's in the right way, because they had Bill Greening making the doll. And he is not, yeah. However, I'm not going to blame Bill himself. I'm going to blame obviously Mattel, because one, Bill Greening is a signature line creator for Barbie. So he created all of these like model like Barbie dolls with that high fashion, like collector dolls, of course. And at this time, it wasn't like they're doing a reproduction or doing a one-of-a-kind type of thing for Barbie, for Black Barbie, as they did for the time, for back then. So they treated it as just a signature doll of Barbie. But they just happened to celebrate the anniversary. I feel like that's where they went wrong and thought like, okay, let's just create one just to create one, I guess. Yes, plus Mattel, like, it's a corporation at the end of the day. Like, they're not gonna care in terms of like who is representing this doll, who is creating this doll. We need to know like their backstory, background, like things of that sort, I guess. Because I mean, I don't know. But again, I'm not gonna give any hate to Bill himself. I don't. Please don't ever do that. Do not send that to Bill because he does not deserve it. The doll, at the end of the day, I will say she's gorgeous. He did give this to Kitty, and Kitty did bless the doll. Like, she accepts the doll, she loves the doll. Otherwise, why would she bless it to begin with, you know? In 2021, Brooklyn Barbie was introduced. They also created, at this time period as well, other black figures into Barbie dolls. They created wow, I'm gonna really mispronounce her names. I apologize. Ibtiha, Misty, and as well Shonda. I'm not sure if they created the Shonda doll back in 2021 exactly, but like we have these figures as well, part of the Black Barbie documentary, talking about Barbies in general and as well their own Barbie dolls. They also ran a test, I'm assuming in 2023, with children, as they did back in, what time period was this actually? Around 1940, from Dr. Clark, about white dolls versus black dolls, where they put dolls of color in front of children and gave them questions as in like, which doll do you think is the bad doll? Which doll do you think has a thriving career? Which doll do you think is a good doll? And I never knew they made tests like this, and it was very shocking and very hard to watch, just because, you know, you give the dolls as well representation, and yet children misuses it. Like, they would see like part of like the 1940 test that they did with Dr. Clark. You would see in a documentary of like a black boy saying that, oh, like this black baby doll is, you know, the bad one. This one is the one that has like a criminal record, like just all of this, like all of that. And at the last question, I think, was that, which doll do you think looks like you? And of course, he would point to that black baby doll. And it just put things in perspective, like, this is what I look like, and this is what this doll looks like, and look at me talking so much about this doll, and it's like, not good to say, not good at all what I just said about this doll. So they ran that test with children with Barbie dolls. However, this time it was a total 360 of what they said. Not all the children at all were pointing at the white Barbie as in like, oh, she's the prettiest doll, I love this doll, my favorite doll. No, a lot of the children pointed out dolls that look like them as like the prettiest. And the teacher, the therapist that was running the test with the children was asking, well, why do you think that doll is pretty? And the children would say like, well, I love her hair, I love her fashion, I think she's cute. None of the children really said because of her skin tone. They said what she was wearing. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, if you put in front of me like Dreamtopia Barbie dolls, if you put in front of me like, you know, Stacy dolls, Kelly dolls, Chelsea dolls, whatever, of like any of those dolls from the line, right? And you tell me which one's the prettiest, I'm gonna be like, nope. Show me a signature doll, show me a Barbie look doll that is the gorgeous one. And all of them are that. All of them. Give me a Made to Move Barbie, any of them and all of them, they are the prettiest, okay? And now this stuck up to me. Dr. Amira Safir, professor of children and adolescent studies, said, what is the role of Barbie in helping kids understand? Should it be Barbie or Mattel's responsibility to be more intentional in what they are doing to help kids make these distinctions as well? In terms of like being in society of like judging people based off their skin tone, based off race and all. And I have to say, I don't know who said this, but someone said, yes, I think it's society as a whole's responsibility to show that, because Barbie can help show ethnicity, can show culture, and can show representation of like everybody's different. And I agree to that, but I don't agree with that it's only Mattel's responsibility, it's only Barbie's responsibility. And they didn't say that in terms of like that, but of course there's going to be people that will say that. I'm telling you right now, that is not their job. That is not Barbie's job to do that. As a parent, and as well as an uncle, as an aunt, as a grandparent, as a, family friend, family, like the uncle. Like I am an uncle to a lot of my friends' children, even though I'm not biologically, I am not blood related to them. I have seen them grown up. And of course, any questions, any help, any advice I can do for you, I will do it to the best of my ability and with much love and care. I'm not looking at a doll toy company to do that. Like if we're gonna be like that, then why are we not doing that with Monopoly? Like why are we not doing that with like Power Ranger dolls or like Hot Wheels? Like why are we not doing that to them? In 2020 as well, Barbie created a racism blog. Now, if you don't remember this, I would definitely recommend checking that out and watching the whole video. And yes, the whole video, watch it. But that they were discussing that they were at the beach, that they were selling stickers to raise money. Nikki got stopped by police. They had her back searched. They didn't know what she was doing, even though she was doing exactly what Barbie was doing. But yet Barbie didn't get stopped at all. She literally just had her day. And this was a great example of to show children of like different like racial issues that we have as a society back then in 2020, even to this day. Like obviously it's not fixed. To show and to teach children, I think Barbie did it in the right way. Of course, everybody else put your input on it. Like hello, you don't see Brad's doing that, do you? In 2021, Barbie created the movie Big City, Big Dreams. And in 2022, Barbie had the Barbie Epic Road Trip. And they had in 2022, Barbie It Takes Two. I believe this one was in episodes. I say this because they have Black Barbie, as in Brooklyn Barbie, Barbie Roberts. And the point that they took from this in the documentary was that Barbie was always like, I don't have a Brooklyn Barbie or like a regular Barbie doll to like show this, because if you can tell, I love collector dolls. So Malibu Barbie, Brooklyn Barbie, okay? Bear with me. So they're always together for these movies, right? They're saying in the documentary, I forgot, I think she was like a teenager or something, like, not a kid, but like, I'm assuming a teenager, right? You're right. She said that she won't be successful in terms of Brooklyn Barbie. Because there is a high demand of white dolls compared to black dolls. Brooklyn Barbie can't stand alone. She won't be seen as successful. She won't have her own movie, her own show to be the lead. They use the example of Barbie Big City, Big Dreams, whereas these two are competing in a competition in that art school, whatever. I did a movie time review video on that, so check that out. But at the end, spoiler alert, of course these two are tied. Even though it's shown in the movie, Brooklyn Barbie did better than Malibu Barbie. That's just the truth. I mean, watch the movie. I think she did better than Malibu, but they're gonna share. And that's the point. What they're saying is that they're not gonna have Black Barbie be a star. They're always going to have Malibu the lead. I agree that they're not gonna have Brooklyn as the lead because this is a reproduction of 1959 Barbie, the OG Barbie, the first Barbie, right? This is what she looks like. This is an example. I don't think Mattel, this is a really hot take, so I believe Mattel will never change Barbara's race. I don't believe that at all. I don't think they ever will. I know that Mattel has done so much in terms of representation of everybody, with disabilities, skin tones, example, obviously with the Fashionistas line, it has evolved, especially as well, when they started doing, different body types, now they're doing different skin tones. It has changed so much. I don't think Barbara Millicent Roberts herself will change. I don't think Mattel will ever change her. Because this doll company, this doll line, this doll brand is named Barbie. We're gonna take their competitor Bratz, and they have 4 leads. White, Black, Asian, Latina, okay? I'm represented in Bratz because Yasmin is a lead. I'm Latino. I'm a Peruvian man. Yasmin is my representation, and she's part of that lineup. Yes, there's not one lead, right? But there's four, and they're together. They are not like one's the leader. Oh, Chloe is the one that's most important. No, Yasmin is the one that's most. Even though Yasmin a little bit is, just because we all know the backstory of Yasmin being inspired. Like she's like the representation of Isaac Laren's daughter, also named Yasmin, I think. Right? Is that her name? I don't know. But you see my point, right? They all four are seen as the lead from MGA Entertainment. From Mattel, Barbie, Barbara Millicent Roberts will always be that representation. Just the one doll. Just the one. Not Teresa, not Raquel, not Nikki, not even Ken, right? So I'm just stating facts. Like, we need to be realistic and know that that's what's gonna happen for the remainder of time. If they change it, sure, but I doubt it. Even so, they stated in this documentary that they were seeing a book of 70 years of innovation in play from Mattel, and they didn't mention Black Barbie in the book, even though this is all about innovation in play of Mattel. Kitty, Black Perkins was mentioned, as well as Beulah was mentioned. She even gave a quote in this. But, it doesn't show Black Barbie, and they're all about pushing boundaries. And yet Black Barbie was not shown in the book. They even had a scene towards the end of protest, and it had Barbie dolls in it, and I thought that was, one, cute, because it's like, I've never seen that before ever, and two, because they did that to show that Black Barbie's story is important and it matters. It's part of history. We can never erase her, we can never dismiss her or anything. She's an impact. She has made so much of an impact in children's lives, adults' lives, like everyone. It ends showing that this whole story was pretty much made from 2011 to 2024, 13 years in the making of Black Barbie documentary. And honestly, I love the documentary, I do. I just feel, that's my overall review of the movie. Like, that's what it was about. I do recommend watching this, definitely recommend it. Of course, I believe it's good for kids. I don't think it's like hard or anything to like understand and obviously explain. Even they have questions or anything, I think it's pretty much easy to explain to them. Like, come on. However, I will say there's 2 points to this that I heavily disagree with, and that, not mad, but I'm disappointed that they really did not show this. One, there's two for me. One, they did not show the whole history of Black dolls from Barbie, and as well, two, they did not highlight other Black doll brands. One for, dolls of Mattel, of Barbie. We see from the fashionistas that they have changed body types, they have had different skin tones. We have more race representation in Barbie now. It was not like it back then, back in 1959, okay? It is 2024. Everybody is represented in the Barbie line, okay? Now we have like Down syndrome Barbie. We have currently about to come up like a visually impaired Barbie doll. We have Barbie fashionistas in wheelchairs. Like, the representation keeps going and it keeps going. As well as that, we have Women in History, inspiring women series from Barbie. We have Ida B. Wells as a Barbie doll. We have Ella Fitzgerald. The list can go on and on, okay? They could have done just like celebrity dolls and just make them a line, but no, we have these figures in history as well. Black women in history as now Barbie dolls that you can buy for your children. Representation, hello. Women in STEM, women in justice, hello. Like, the actual part of the history books. And yet those dolls are not really like sold out. Like, they're not like heavy buys for children. Like, and you're all talking about wanting representation in toys and dolls, and yet you're not buying what looks to be important dolls to have. At least to me. Like, if you're talking about representation, why would you not buy, the Inspiring Women series dolls? As well as, like, I know we didn't have like black Barbie, but we still had Barbies of color. Like Nikki is not to be like dismissed, especially from like Barbie Life in the Dream House. Like you can't tell me her fashions were like not like up to par. Like her like hello Nikki. They didn't even talk about this. Like Mattel created Brandy dolls. I know Brandy is not like heavily talked about as well in the doll community, even dolls in general, even in Brandy's history, right? Music artists, like hello, she's big right now. Like hello, The Boy Is Mine remix with Ariana Grande and with Monica, like hello, it's a bop. She had her own Barbie dolls. She had her own line of dolls, Brandy dolls. And yet it wasn't discussed in this documentary of black Barbie dolls, as well as they didn't even talk about Eve dolls. And yes, that is a movie, but yet that's Tyra Banks. Like that was from Disney Channel, Disney. That was a Disney movie, and yet they could have done the typical Barbie doll movie, but yet no, they did Eve dolls. Like that Barbie, that is the black Barbie commercial in my opinion. Like look at that, shine bright, shine far, don't be shy, be a star. Like what are you gonna tell me you're not gonna like talk about her? I want an Eve doll, okay? And correct me if I'm wrong, did they use Shawnee dolls for that? I don't know what type of dolls they used for Eve dolls, because I doubt they made original dolls for that movie. But let me know in the comments what type of dolls they use, because I want one. I want a doll. Because it looks like in the eyes they painted it to look different, because obviously like they're not gonna like spend all this money to create original dolls. I would love to purchase an Eve doll, but like I just want to know. Eve was popping. Okay, watch the movie. The second one is okay, but I love the first one. And that commercial is always engraved in my head. Be a star. They didn't even discuss her, as well as they didn't talk about other doll brands. Now these dolls are from the Fresh Dolls, from Dr. Lisa. Hello, Fresh Dolls. They created the Proud Family Louder and Prouder dolls. And hello, we didn't have these dolls growing up, so they did something about it, and they're like, hello, representation. This is a huge, it was a huge black African American family sitcom, TV show, cartoon show, whatever you want to call it. I love the Proud Family growing up, and now that it's, you know, with the reboot, it's great. It's coming back here in 2024. That we got dolls of them. Hello, Lucianica being Latina, love her. Her Dejanay Jones being messy, but yet we love her as well. Penny Proud, the lead. Hello, even though, yeah, you can comment on her looks and all that, but how she looks like as a teenager. And black, like, what do you mean? Representation in dolls. You can see it on TV, well, streaming, right? But as well in toys at doll form. Barbie dolls are still being made in all different skin tones. This is part of the Barbie extra fly dolls, even though, you know, that line didn't do well or even as dull as the thing. But yeah, they're not skipping out on the skin tones. Like, you're not gonna tell me this doll is not gorgeous. What do you mean? They use for Barbie fashionistas. I'm not sure what number this fashionista is, but I have her. She's not here. She's still in my storage unit. I need to go to that storage unit and do something and find her and find all my dolls. But she is engraved in my head. She is my favorite. The rainbow dress, her eyeshadow, the hair, like, and that dark complexion is just gorge. And I don't remember seeing that even from the Sew and Style dolls, I think, correct me, but gorgeous, like representation of skin tones. Duh. Even though from other doll brands, again, like we have Bratz dolls, like Sasha, you're not gonna clock her. Felicia, I don't have her with me here, damn it. Man, but you're not gonna clock like Bratz are not giving a fuck, cause like they do, they give quality, they're giving representation. Hello, 4 leads in a doll brand. The Little Mermaid, the huge movie in terms of live action movies for Disney. My favorite out of Cinderella, out of Sleeping Beauty. Yes, Maleficent and Sleeping Beauty 1 and 2, okay? Even though this movie came out in 2023, this doll, and I'm sure other dolls as well from The Little Mermaid from that live action movie, are still being sold and still making new sets. Hello, this doll itself was like, what, the #1 seller of toys overall from Amazon for how long of a period? Like, it was gone for pretty long. She did that. Representation. And Mattel created this doll, and yet you're not going to discuss that in your documentary? We have Naturalista dolls, like being a black owned business, and as well showing representation in hair textures and skin tones of with fashion. that you're not even going to like mention them. Like, there's representation. And I know they're talking about Barbie as in like pushing boundaries. We want Barbie to do more. We want Barbie to do this and that. If Barbie's not doing it for you, there's other companies that will do it. Okay? We need to go and support them. We need to go in their direction. We need to go to their aisle, their section of the toy store, their section of Walmart, Target, wherever it is, the retailer, and buy them. We can't just be talking about we want representation in toys, we want representation for our children, and yet not buy it. Like, I'm sorry, we can talk the talk, but it's better to do the purchasing, to show these companies that look at how much we made out of this one particular doll or this one particular doll line. Let's create the second wave, the third wave, and give them more options, more outfits, more details, all of that. Like, what do you mean? There's no representation. Yes, Barbie herself is just a doll brand out of all of the other brands out there on the market. She's not the only one. I am so sorry to say this to you, girl, but you're not the only one anymore. The Fresh dolls, going back to them again, this is a doll set of careers. We have a president, doctor, we have a teacher. Like, what do you mean representation? We can see ourselves being with our careers and looking fabulous doing it. What do you mean? Look at the hair, look at the face. You mean to tell me we're not getting representation, we're not getting quality, we're not getting care? Like, I know these doll brands don't have exactly, I guess, fashions, articulation, things that Mattel has, but we need to understand it. A lot of these doll brands are from companies that are relatively new. They don't have billions of dollars to just throw out and create toys out of the blue, but they're showing what we want to see. We want to see our children, we want to see us, or even as an adult, as a doll, to be like, I matter, and as well, I could achieve that. I can be a teacher, I can be a president. LOL dolls, again, from LOL Surprise. Like, we are seeing different skin tones, we are seeing different representations of styles, of hair textures, of hair colors, like everything of it we're seeing as well from LOL OMG. I hope you see my point in terms of like, there is representation out there. It may not be from Barbara herself, but yet we can actually get it from others. We can help them and show that this is what we were talking about. We are here to help you. We are here to support you. We are here to buy. Does it sound harsh? It does, because it's like, well, we don't have thousands of dollars to like buy for toys or anything. Look it up. The prices are not like different from Barbie. You're over here talking about Barbie dolls and wanting to buy Barbies, and yet, like, what do you mean? Like, even just for one doll from Fresh Dolls are relatively like what, $15, $13? Sometimes there'll be a sale and they'll be like $10, $8, whatever it is. You mean to tell me you were gonna just save your money for Barbie and just wait for her, for that company to make your representation when it's already out there? I'm not understanding. Why don't you just show the representation that's already out there, a part of this documentary? Like, you're talking about representation, you're talking about Black dolls, and yet you're not showing Black dolls that already exist. I'm confused. Like, you had so much time to make this documentary, and yet you can't do a simple Google search? It's not like they're working for Mattel, because I understand, oh, well, this should show disrespect, because, like, hello, we're showing other doll brands that are actually doing it. You're not working with Mattel in this documentary. I didn't even see Mattel advertise this. You know, I've been to the Mattel store when this documentary was already out, and yeah, there's no posters about it. Not even on the social media they posted about it. Maybe a story, but yeah, that story is gonna go away in 24 hours. But you could have shown representation that's already out there. You can show these brands and highlight them and show that, look, it is being out there, it is being done. Someone's doing something about it. But you know what? Fuck them, right? Like, I don't know what else to like, I don't know what they were doing by not doing this. Like, it's not that hard. I say all this to say, if you are that parent, if you are that adult, if you are that doll collector that wants this representation, don't just only look at Barbie. There's others that will do it, that want to do it, that love to do it. So we need to support them and help them. And I say help because we are showing them, we are helping them by buying these dolls to make them profit, to show that this is actually selling. People actually want this, because we can just talk our talk, but yet if no one's buying it, they're gonna have to discontinue the line. They're gonna have to shut down on the whole dolls. Like, I haven't seen much of Naturalistas in terms of the next line that they're gonna come out with. I know they have Latinista dolls, which I need to get too, because I haven't bought one yet. And those are my people. Like, I'm Latino, you know? But obviously with me budgeting and like trying to like pay rent, like, I'm sorry, I'd rather have a roof over my head than toys. But there's some point where it's like, I need to save money. Naturalista dolls, like, are you kidding me? Hey, you mean to tell me that these dolls are not gorgeous? They're not showing you what you want? But if Mattel not doing that, if Barbie's not doing that, like, they're not to your standards, to your likeness, there's others that would do it. Okay, we can't just wait around for this one brand to do something, to do everything. We just can't. We need to go on and move on and show them that we're gonna go ahead and buy this doll instead. And show that company it is selling, it is moving, it is being talked about, it's being reviewed on, that it matters. And if as well Shonda or whoever was also a part of this documentary don't want to show the whole history of Barbie dolls, of these pioneering women dolls, of like celebrity dolls, like, they didn't want to show any of that was being done, different body types, different skin tones that was being created, or fashionistas, then that's on them as well. Like, I don't understand why they didn't include that. Okay, to the end, I will give this documentary a 3 out of 5 stars. Even though that may sound low, but because I'm taking off 2 stars because of those 2 points. Because I felt like there was parts of it that they missed on, that they didn't want to include, they didn't include at all from Barbie's history of it, of Black Barbies, and as well not showing the other doll brands that are out there actually doing representation, that are actually here. Like, I'm not, like, I say actually as in like, I'm not lying, like, these are actual toys that you can buy. So that's my take on the documentary of Black Barbie. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you agree with what I said? Do you agree with half of what I said? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions. Sound off below. Like, this is the whole community for everybody to like comment on, to give their side on. Like, don't be lying. Like, go ahead and sound off. Check out all the other videos that I have on a Celebritants YouTube account, YouTube channel, of other movie time videos, review it up videos, born to shop videos. Check out Celebritants on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, X, Facebook, etc. And I also want to point out, I didn't show any like doll unboxings because I have done that in the past for other movie time videos, but I thought, might as well show like dolls that I currently have with me in my possession of representations. So apologies for not doing that, but again, I just wanted to show you that other doll brands exist. They do. Go and support. Go and support. Go and shop. If there's any other doll brands that I missed that are also doing the work, that are also showing representation, please let me know in the comments as well. Please drop their links. Please let me know all of that in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.